Buying a Subaru WRX STI may be the best decision you've ever made, or it'll be the biggest mistake of your life. In today's video, we're going to talk to you about how to check out these cars before you buy one used and what things to look out for so that you make a good choice. These are some of the bigger risk factors that we see when buying a used STI or WRX and things to look out for. Let's address everyone's biggest concern, would be an engine replacement. Most of the time, engines come in that are spun bearing or cracked ringland, and it's from very simple mistakes that people make in their ownership, like running too thin of a weight of oil or not enough oil, bad tuning, not tuning for the parts that are on the car, trusting irreputable tuners, things like that. It's not so often the installs that are the issue. It's usually the smaller details that lead to bigger, more costly failure. So bear in mind, just because the car has a lot of modifications on it does not mean it's a good or bad purchase just because of the parts that are on it. And on the flip side, just because it's completely stock doesn't mean it's safe. And it doesn't matter if the car has been extensively modified or if it's completely stock. We see those failures across the board. The initial things that we're going to want to look for, whether it is stock or modified, are simple things. You're talking engine noise when it's idling, maybe some fluid leaks, oil or coolant, fuel, things like that. Now, there is the WRX and the STI. There's two different versions of these cars, and they are very different. The STI is going to be the more premium one, obviously. It's going to have the better brakes, the better transmission, usually a nicer interior, although you can get a nicer trimmed up WRX. The standard STI interior is very, very nice. The biggest pro to owning an STI over the WRX is definitely going to be the resale value. STIs across the board from 04 all the way up to 21 hold their value much, much better than the WRXs. That's simply just because it's a nicer car, it's got more performance modifications, it's a little bit more desirable. Now, as with the WRX, the 04 to 14 WRXs share a similar platform, being the EJ series engine. When it comes to modifying and maintaining them, your routine is going to be pretty much the same since it's the same engine family. Whereas when you go over to the 2015 and up WRX, they went to the FA series engines, which have a little bit different maintenance schedule and different things to look out for that the EJ series doesn't really have an issue with. On the flip side, you could argue that the STI cons are the inflated price because they are more desirable, but they're also usually driven a little bit harder. It kind of goes both ways. The WRXs are cheaper to buy, so they're more easily justified to be abused. The STIs are more expensive, so people tend to take care of them more. It kind of goes both ways. So as far as abuse and the pre-ownership before you get it, it's 100% situational to the individual that you're buying from. Other things you can, pay attention to. How's the paint condition? Has it been recently repainted? Is the color match good? These cars are pretty old now, so the odds of them having the factory paint on the factory panels is pretty slim. Usually the bumpers are the first things to get replaced, so check those out. Especially in these older cars, they have all these intricate panels that bolt onto the bumper. It's very important that all that matches so it looks really, really nice. That's going to help the value stay up there. And obviously it goes without saying, if these panels don't match the best, maybe it was in an accident previously. Continuing down the side of the car, the rocker panels and the pinch welds on these GDs especially is super common to rust out. So take a peek, feel underneath the car for some rust. Hopefully the pinch welds are nice and straight. A lot of times when guys use bottle jacks or crappy floor jacks and they put a lot of weight on one jack point, you can fold that pinch weld over. It's not gonna hurt the value a whole lot, but they are things to consider when you're spending a good amount of money on one of these cars. Back here, underneath this side skirt down here, it's super common for the WRXs and the STIs to rust out. Same with these over fender pieces here. There's just plastic tabs on these, and it's somewhat common for them to break off. These are actually pretty expensive to get from the dealership, so if it's in rough shape, kind of use that to your negotiation. Other things that we've seen, especially on these GD chassis, is the spare tire well will rust out and there'll literally just be a hole straight from the inside down to the ground. That's gonna be a pretty big repair as far as metalworking and stuff, so keep an eye out for that as well. Now, more than likely, if you are shopping for an STI, it's going to have some modifications on it. Is it going to be as modified as our 600 package here? Maybe not. So, the mods that you're seeing on the car, have they been installed correctly? Do you see any fluid leaks? Do you see exhaust leaks? Is the hose routing neat? Is it tidy? Does it look like it was professionally done? These are just things that you kind of need to weigh your options out. Other things to consider are the brand of parts. Honestly, when it comes to super cheap or super expensive, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for in a car. But it is kind of nice to go into a inspection when you're looking at buying a car, kind of look at what brands are synonymous with the platform that you're looking at. So with Subaru here, we have an ETS rotated kit. It's a very, very popular brand of rotated kit, but there's 20 different rotated kit brands on the market. So you can kind of see which one's on the car, gauge its value, look it up online, see how much it costs, because if someone's willing to buy a lot of really, really nice parts for the car, hopefully it was installed professionally, or the person that was doing the install knew what they were doing. Say you're gonna go through with the purchase, and there's one thing that can tell you almost everything about the engine health in one of these cars, and that is a compression check and a leak down test. They're done similarly, but they're with different tools. If you can get the seller to provide you those leak down and compression numbers, it'll give you a good idea of the cylinder health and how fresh the engine is. Now, chances are, if you are looking at a modified one, the owner is either going to have documentation of the parts that were installed by themselves, or they'll have some receipts of when a shop professionally installed them. Both of those are going to be things you're going to want to try to get from the previous owner. Other things that you can check on to see the quality of the tune and just how well it was put together and how well it was tuned, you can simply go into the Cobb Access port. Almost all these cars are tuned on Cobb Access ports. You can check the file type, you can check who it was tuned by. Sometimes they'll have revision dates in there so you can see how long it's been since it had a fresh tune on it. These things love tuning. It's very, very important for a build to last a long time to have a proper tune on it. So definitely keep that in mind when going into buying an aftermarket build car. Just because it has a lot of really nice parts on it does not mean it's going to be put together and running correctly. A proper tune for the parts that are on the car is imperative for the engine to live a long life. Standard mods that we really like to see on these cars coming in after being purchased are simple things like a air oil separator, be it from Cobb or IAG. Those are the two that we trust. There are other ones on the market that do a pretty okay job, but the IAG and the Cobb units are the ones that we really, really like. Same with Killer Bee products. If it has a Killer Bee pickup and baffle on it, that's a really, really good sign that someone knew what they were doing when they were putting the engine together, because it is a common issue for the oil pickup to fail, leading to engine oil starvation. Other simple modifications that you're more than likely going to see, even on a relatively stock car, is an intake and a downpipe. Those are the two most common mods that people first put on their STI because it is the gateway into modifying these cars. So most intakes are probably going to be about the same as far as safety of the tune, but keep in mind, if you pull up the access port and it has a Cobb branded tune on it, it has to have the Cobb hardware, meaning the Cobb SF intake or one of the Redline intakes on one of the newer cars. Same with the downpipe. If it has a downpipe on the car, it has to have a Pro Tune. There is no off-the-shelf tune for the downpipes anymore. So just keep those things in mind. Even if the car is stage 2, but it doesn't have any Cobb parts on it, you need to be sure that it was tuned professionally by a Pro Tuner and not using one of the off-the-shelf mats. We've covered a lot of things relating to the engine, but what about the STI's transmission? There's a lot of things that you can tell about the health of the transmission just simply by driving it. If you put it into gear and the shifter doesn't wiggle back and forth, you can get a pretty good idea of how it's been treated. The factory bushing is known to wear out pretty quickly if it's driven super, super aggressively. Whereas if it's nice and tight and it doesn't move around a whole lot, you can probably assume that this thing's been driven like it should be. Nice and gentle, and then the occasional quick shift when, driving it sportingly. Same with the clutch engagement. If you get in the car and you go to clutch out to take it for a drive, and the engagement is almost all the way at the top of the pedal travel, it's more than likely going to need a clutch replacement. So keep that in mind when you're going into purchasing it, that more than likely within your ownership, you're going to have to replace the clutch. And like us, along with a lot of other performance shops that you'll find around the US, we offer pre-purchase inspections. So you arrange it with the seller, bring the car in, we will do a compression and leak down test on it. We'll put the car up in the air, get a flashlight out, check everything over underneath the car, make sure there's not any major fluid leaks. We will, listen for bearing noise, listen for valve train noise, things like that, so you can get a good idea of what you're getting into. And it also gives us the opportunity to warn you to either avoid this car or lowball. As a shop, we would rather see you not purchase the car at all than to purchase it and only find out a couple weeks later that it's going to need $15,000 in repairs. Like I said at the beginning, owning one of these cars can either be one of the best choices you've ever made, or it'll be the worst decision of your entire life. So keep these things in mind when you're looking at the used market for your WRX or your STI that you're looking at. And if you're local to us, get a hold of us if you would like a pre-purchase inspection. We do them all the time, and we're happy to help people make a decision on whether the car that they're looking at buying is a good choice or not. If you like this video, comment down below, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let us know what other Subaru content you want to see down in the comments, because we really like making videos on these things. See you in the next one.